Are we alive? Night? Are we here? Is it Wednesday? What are we doing here? What are you doing here? It's good to see you. What a surprise. Are we allowed to meet this way in the middle of the week? So strange. So to break the fourth wall, what you guys were just seeing is this right here. It was sitting in the microscope. That was a live intro. We're just breaking all the rules tonight. And what I would love for everybody to see this evening is some really really gorgeous stuff that is sitting back there in that box that we want to share for this fantastic fossil reveal. So it looks like Rick is the rock in the house, rocking out all the time. Jeff, it's so good to see you. It feels like I haven't seen some of you for some time. I think I'm the one out of the loop. Let me know if we're not 5x5s. Cheers to all of you. Making sure that like there's things like my mic is on and stuff. It feels like even less prepared than a typical Friday. So help me out if anything's amiss. And Patricia is here. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Soul Adventurist is in the house, and it looks like I missed a video from you. Something got installed. Was that your saw or something exciting happened for you? I saw green paint in a thumbnail and I was very excited. So I'm going to have to go back and check out what's going on. I've been running around with my mom. Everybody say hi to mom. She's watching upstairs. I mean, she's not watching the upstairs. She's actually watching this. And really enjoyed your video, Brian and Julie. So if you are coming from Brian and Julie, thank you for joining us over here. And if you haven't seen Brian and Julie's latest video, which they just released, AZ Rock Hounding Expeditions, they are cutting open blues and it's gorgeous. And everybody's saying hello. I love it. Papa's Gems was first on the scene. Congrats on that. It's the Hump Day Revival. I love it. Fantastic. Hey, Ma, what am I doing here? I need you over here so that we can yammer. That was so fun on Friday. Thanks everybody for joining us for that. But we didn't get to the fossils, and that's actually why I'm making up for it right now here on a Wednesday. We're going to have a look at some of these fossils, and then we get to have a really fun guest on Friday, and we'll continue all the good tangents and all the good rock fun on Friday as per tradition. And we've got Ryan over there. I'm kind of dead tonight, but you're alive. How come you're dead, man? Congratulations, those of you who have been playing along over there at the Discord on our monthly cab contest. Somebody won. And it was Mr. Fantastic over there, Ryan, doing an incredible job. And so we'll do a little bit more of that showcasing on Friday. But congratulations on that. And what's this? If I was a medieval knight, I would be Sir Brian the Strawless. That begs for some explanation. No sleep, sir? I'm wondering, perhaps who was the Oz character? Oh, it's spacing my brain. It's a Wednesday. I'm not usually required to think on Wednesdays, but yeah, perhaps he needs more straw. Scarecrow. That's what it is. Need more straw, Scarecrow. Something like that. I'm making words. So there's Scott. Good to see you, Scott. Thank you for joining. And Rocky Mountain Bear is here, and he is asking that all-important question: are we here? And we'll ponder that while we look at some rocks. We're going to look at more MicrOzone. We got to start off the evening with a horn coral from Blind Squirrel Rocks that I actually cabbed up. We'll even get another look at that, I believe. Yes, as I'm triple taking over to my side. And thank you. Julie's saying hi to mom. Thank you for that. And I'm probably a little bit behind. Good to see you, that Opal guy. Also having a video that I need to catch up on. Fantastic work always. I love watching your gems emerge. And Jeff had a great video as well that I need to catch up on. I saw that happened. So much. Let us all cheers. And Kirk, good to see you. Thank you. All is well here. I hope all is well over there. I know that you've been making some magical mugs. I saw some of the slabbies that you're putting out and creating from, and I have a very imageless vessel with some wonderful sparkling water in it. So cheers to you and yours, everyone. I like to drink out of jars. Hopefully they're not, pickle jars as far as, for my jewelry making. They don't have anything interesting like some unknown wet liquid in it. But cheers to you. I hope you are all getting delightful rock hunts done. And Lesby Rockin', good to see you. Hope that you've been out finding and oh, you guys are always so interesting in the chat. I'm gonna have to read some of that later. Scrolling. Drool Rock Fest. Yes. Jeff's videos most certainly are on the regular Such Good Eye Candy. So definitely going to have to go check that out. Rufotra's Rooted Rockhound is here as well. And I did see that you were out running around with the horses for hours and hours this day or this week, something. Looks like a good time, and that's why you haven't been around much, and that is fun. Jennifer, good to see you. I need to send you an email. Your package is speeding towards you as we speak, and I'm quite excited for you to receive it. It's a chock full of fun kind of package. And the Phantom Straw Menace. That's great. There was no straw. Oh, maybe it's the kind that you drink out of. Why is it that my head's like directly went to the kind that, horses eat? So we've come full circle here with a bunch of wonderful confusion. And it looks like we've got a bunch of folks working, which is exactly what we love. Do your flat lap and your cab making, your sawing, whatever it is. We're all going to be joined together here looking at some fabulous rocks from Blind Squirrel Rocks and some maybe some other treats. And like I said, we started our evening off with the cabochon that I made from the horn coral that came in the package. And so there is our fun little cabochon. And what's really interesting about this guy is it, for one thing, was kind of lying on its side. You can see the direction of the horn coral there. And so it made these wonderful swirls. I'll show you the backside. There is what that looks like. How close can we get here? And so that's interesting fun. But this one was kind of like a little nubbin. And so it just begged to be made into a cab. And so it's got tons of druzy. I was so excited to take this directly to the cab machine. Do not pass go. Do not even stop to get a beverage. Just get that going. And so that's what we all got to start the evening off under the microzone. We were taking a nice close look at that. One of the things about these fossils is A, they're so silicified, they take a fantastic polish. B, when they're polished, they're so much easier to look at under the microscope. And so that is what we endeavor to do. We've got a few other morsels back here to look at, and I'm going to make sure that we're all caught up in the chat. Thank you. Beautiful. And it looks like we've got Jeff having a Kingsley 6 Nova on the way, shipped today. Congratulations, man. Let me just say, it's the best thing that happened in my lapidary life last year, I think. So I can't be more excited for you. That's my machine, and it's your machine, and we can giggle like children together as we have giddy times polishing the rocks. You deserve it. You have so much beautiful material out there that I can't wait to see what you do. And so you're gonna have us all drooling, like Julie said. And so beverage, no straw. Yeah, I was just getting that. So late to the party. I'm thinking of the kind that you make, the scarecrows out of. What is she talking about? Rock outing huntress. Hello, good to see you. And yeah, so we've got this guy is a bit of the honeycomb coral that I polished up last night. Here's what the bottom looks like. And the bottom is actually a match to this here, which is where this came from. And so I cut this bad boy. You can see the fractures align perfectly. So it came from right there. Let's have a look around at the rest of the rock. So what is that? The favosites? Is that what these guys are? I think. And you guys are welcome to help me out in the chat because the the fossils from back east, and this is Indiana material, I'm not quite as adept at. And so if I need correcting, it is always welcome. Please help my brain if it needs it. And so you can see a lot of really beautiful detail on this rock. Hopefully I didn't move it too fast for you guys. Okay, Julie's gonna send me the link so I know. Excellent. Thank you. And the the way that you cut this particular coral is you're going to get a completely different experience if you cut it this way as opposed to the direction that I did. So we're kind of getting a cross section here, and what would this be like? Kind of like a radial view or a tangential view of the way that it grows. This one doesn't really exhibit what excitement you can see those pillars are. Although I think Ma's done a few really, really cool cabochons from this as well. And you've seen them go by on the Discord. And so we'll take a look at that and see if it's interesting underneath the microscope. But that was a fun one to polish up as well. And you can see just all of those super cool little polka dots on there. I just am in love with how silicified this is. And so mostly agatized in the cell walls, and then the interiors are fortified with quartz and druzy. So pretty. And It looks like Cheryl. Okay, so it was a saw, a cutter, a thing, the thing. And so yeah, so is it favosites? I feel like that might be the way that the Latin might go, but you guys can all help me out as far as the phonics go as well. And Jennifer is saying Cheryl had her saw out of the box. That's what I thought. That beautiful green, and so I thought it was the saw. Can't wait for her to start cutting. Yeah, that'll be so exciting. We're all ready for, you want to be next with the live. That would be awesome. And then it's just oh yeah, that stuff is amazing. I know we both have like a definite weak in the knees kind of crush on it. Just the genus name for the geeky critter nerd Karen. Yes. Absolutely. Um, let's see if we've got any more corrections or anything. And it looks like Ma is busy working on some earrings with crinoid stems for squirrel. Awesome. That sounds great. And that's how you've heard it. That's what I was kind of looking for, is if anybody had a big correction for me. And so hopefully that's close enough for you guys to see. There's a little bit of the side view there. And so that's kind of what you get if you do the side view. The way that particular stone presented itself, it needed that to be lopped off the top, but I'm looking forward to doing a few that way too. Pretty interesting. So we'll take a look at that, and I'm going to go ahead and punch the camera just to make sure that it's operating. And then we've got this guy here that we'll also take a look at underneath the microscope. And this is some of the native chert, one of the chert tiles. So I gave it a sort of a quasi specimen and cabochon polish. I'm trying to get that to, yeah, that looks like the pixels are settling down. And these are fascinating. There's so much going on in there. What looks like some kind of a long black, octopus with tendrils or something like that, I believe are those little dashes and things are left behind by mats of bryozoa and brachiopods. Here's one now on the side that I left there for this particular cabochon slash specimen. And you'll see, so you can see the designs of these guys on the sides. And then here's the other side. I did both sides on this one. Look at how crazy that is. So we'll put that underneath the microscope also. And Betty is cooking and eating. Well, good. This is, hopefully we put on a good show for you. I love what this one has, like a hurricane's eye in it or something. And so some really neat designs being made by the way that the fossils have put themselves together. So that's what we've got on deck for some of the stuff to put underneath the microscope. But first, let's look at what they look like before you get them cut and polished. And so that does indeed sound unique and beautiful for sure. I can't wait to see that. But I'm betting that Ma will treat us to some pictures of those as soon as she makes them over there on the Discord. And so, whoa, let's have a look at this here. This is more of that, the honeycomb coral or the favosites, and we're just seeing it being preserved kind of slightly different. And so you can see those circles reaching up there, and then the long spires that they are. At least I think so. This could be actually one of I know I've got some chain corals running around here too, but that doesn't look like the chain. I'm learning as we're all learning as we go along. I have a couple that are out already, and then we're gonna go rummaging through the box a bit. But there's reasons why these guys are out, and I'm looking forward to sharing some of these with you. But they were so outstanding. I've gone through some of the rocks and I just had to separate them. I'm going to get these two wet for you to have a look at. We'll be cutting them soon and having a part 2 to this crazy fossil fest. And so let me give her a dunk here. And the color that's going on in here is just really unusual for it being a fossil chert. To me, anyway, we've got yellow, we've got green, we've got a rose color going on. It almost dives into a purple, if you can see. We've got like the impression of what the corals were doing right there. And so this is gemmy as all get out. I mean, it's so cooked. It's not it's pretty much just agate at this point, or chalcedony fossil, or however you want to be specific about the naming. And so on my camera right now, it's coming off pretty darn yellow, but let me just trust me. I can't wait to cut this one. And then we're going to put it underneath the microscope and see what kind of not only beautiful colors, but beautiful fossils we can see. Right now, you see that circle like an eye staring at you, part of the corals. And then we've got this beautiful stem of something long going by right there, kind of horizontal, perfectly horizontal at this point, which is also going to be an amazing thing. And who knows what's inside? Dinner and a show with Karen, right, Rock? Absolutely. So cool. And so uh thank you. Ma has put up the Discord link, and I had drifty hands. Sorry about that. I'm not trying to like poke your eyes out with the rock, too close. And so you can go on over there. If you see the link, you are invited. That's a 48-hour link. And so go ahead and join up if you're inclined to doing so. And you can join us all week long doing the shows and tells and the cab contests and all of the craziness that happens over there. Plenty of randomness and help. If you need help with things, people are helpful. Reptile Z, welcome in. It's so good to see you. Thank you for coming by. Definitely agatized goodness. Heck yeah. Okay, so if that wasn't enough emphasis, let's go ahead and dive that one into the water. I'll give you a little look first. Again, he sent me something that looks just so abundantly, you can tell it's like fossil coral, sort of, but definitely has become a pebble. Let me make it wet. This one is going to be so much fun to cut and polish and be having a closer look. Can you see all the detail yet? I hope that this is enough detail for your screens, and I'm holding still enough that it's not all pixely as she bounces around. And look at the red. And there's just, it seems like the way that this one's made up is very orbicular at like the microscopic level. And so this one is going to be a ton of fun after we get it polished. You can kind of see the vestige of what's going on there as far as the coral, that definitely giving away an organic structure on that side. And some really, really interesting colors and the way it's filling itself in. And so this one's going to be such a treat to share with you guys. And once again, I've got to say, thank you so much to Mr. Squirrel Montana. I mean, Mr. Squirrel Montana. Squirrel, Blind Squirrel Rocks, and Mr. Turtle Montana also, because we've got his gemfish here, and we're gonna actually shine the light through some of these. And so I had a crosstown traffic in my brain. So Blind Squirrel Rocks, thanks so much. Steinkerns, Jemmy, Cheers, and Bell, Native Wild Woman, welcome in, and thank you so much for the great use of the icons. And Rick has a question here. We've got, did you get any stromatoporoids? Stromatoporoids. Karen, why? We'll just dig on into that box and answer that question for you here in a moment. You probably are getting from my ate a canary sort of tone there that perhaps we do have some of that to look forward to. And let's see, Sierra Hounded, good to see you. Sierra Hounder, rather. Very good to see you. Awesome sauce. Heck yeah. And it looks like we have a Kyle running around in here. I guess it's a good correlation that it's a fossil. Thank you. Brilliance, entering in with a bang. Good to see you, Kyle. And a great big giant blanket howdy back. And Lava Bison, very, very good to see you, and shine that ever loving light on me. Heck yeah. The Squirtle. Right? If they were the same person, then we could just call them Squirtle. I love that, Opal guy. Thank you. Bail me out from all the crazy brain things that my frontal cortex seems to be hatching up today. Because, wow, maybe I'll just get it all out of my system. And Native Wild Man. And my name is Sean. Good to meet you, Sean. Sorry about that. I think I again, crazy neocortex is going. These words are changing before my very eyes. Sorry about that, Sean. Good to see you. Welcome in, and you'll be lucky to remember it too. I'm gonna do this. Boop. And we're reaching into the magic box, and we're pulling out these wonderful bags. And I love that these are so made for Karen, because they've got like instructions and things. Like, we know what we're getting ourselves into here. And so this here is Indiana Creek Church tiles. So great. And what just happened? I just shut down my phone. We'll have to get back in there in a moment. We'll do it during one of the microzones. And so welcome in. This is exciting. Blind Squirtle, Montana. Exactly. Leave it to me to come up with something good like that. And we have a new member, Rock Hounding Huntress. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. Welcome into the tribe. And there's plenty of fun over there on the membership side. Thank you. We have some MicrOzone over there that's fresh, and some other videos, and we've got some that are in the editing room right now to post over there on the member side. And we've got some in the editing room that are going to be for everybody to watch if I can keep my fanny on the seat. Okay, so because we've got our little bag of cherts, the chert tiles, and that is actually what our first little guy here for the MicrOzone is. And so we will show you what the chert tiles look like before they get polished, and then afterwards. And I'll get my phone going again because it went rogue on us. And so we'll take this. Thank you so much again for becoming a member. Really, really appreciate that. That goes to all of the fun, like keeping the microscope going and keeping lights on and the platform going. Awesome. Steinkerns to you. Cheers. Okay, so in this bag, let me just try to fish out a common chert because these are all very uncommon, but some of them are like there's more that look just like them. So this is what he means by a tile. There aren't any straight lines in nature except for the ones that exist. And so this stuff comes out looking like it was hewn by hand by people. And so that is what a chert tile looks like. There's some really nice fossils on the front side. Don't worry, I'll get the other camera back here in a second, but I thought I'd give you some MicrOzone to trip out on while I do the dirty work. But there is what a chert tile looks like before it gets polished. And you can even see the sweeping details somewhat of some fun little guys that are going on in there. So, do you want to see what that looks like up close? Because I sure do. First of all, I usually put my loop on and my nose is touching the specimen. I'm checking it out that way, but even more fun is getting it underneath the microscope. So, we'll set this guy up. We're going to do the side that has the hurricane eye. I haven't looked at this side yet. I looked at the other side. Yes, I cheated. It was in the thumbnail. The background, that wacky background, is this particular fossil. And so microfossils. It's a fossilized sponge. Looks like a wavy waterline agate if it's agatized well. Rock. Thank you. Thank you for that. I think it's fantastic. And it looks like there's some of the either bryozoa or those brachiopods or something like that, like kind of peppered in to like a death plate kind of thing. So let me know if that's something that is a thing. And and you know what, Rock Hunting Huntress, thanks, she says, for the cheers. And we look forward to learning from you all. And we look forward to learning from you as well. This is definitely a collective. Like everybody has the things that they are able to share, and then of course we all learn from each other. So it's like a brain particle accelerator, and we all get inspired and hopefully smarter from each other. I'm trying so hard. And thank you. Thank you, Rock Hounding Huntress. You're so very, very kind. And do we have a question? Did I miss a question? Am I looking maybe a repeat if there's some more questions that I didn't see? And thank you so much over here, Jennifer. Don't forget that like button. It's kind of funny, and you guys hear it from all of the people up here, on the different channels, but it does help, all of those little things that you can do, the details like hitting a like, or if you leave a comment or anything like that, it just tells YouTube that people are responding, and so they end up sending out the video or the live stream to more people, and then more people get to get in on the fun. And so really, really appreciate you guys helping, get those invitations out so that more eyes can be fossilized. Is that a thing? Okay. And so I will never forget your joke you made about giving you the church. Yeah. we were cautioning about getting the right mushrooms and not having any gastro problems, and you can go ahead and do all the math necessary from there on out. And Rick, you were the perfect setup. You like just brought it. And so it was gravid. It had to happen. All right, the brain accelerator. Yes. Like we're all getting smashed together. Why not? And then see what happens. See what happens with the fusion or the fission or whatever. And you guys are so awesome. You're tangenting so hard. It's hard for me to go on. But what we need to do is get this bad boy up. Let's see if we can get our microscope on the stage, already looking so pretty. So let's give this the whole screen. And I invite you to look closely at all of what's going on here. So, do we have a bunch of cells of all sorts of different sizes and they've, permineralized in different colors? Or are we also looking at the potential for some whole nother beings? Like if we're looking at a fossil mat of sponge, then there's that, which are the uh, stromatolites. You said the other fancy one. I'll use the easy. What we've got here is this incredible view of all of these like basically what looks to me like a mashup of all of these little guys, like a death plate. And so there's probably foraminifera and that sort of thing in here, and you can see a polyp. You can see a couple of coral polyps that I'm cruising into the center for you. And then I'll let you guys settle your eyes, and maybe you can play a game of how many recognizable microfossils can you see in this picture while I'm getting the other camera back on online. And I'll give you a little bit of music in which to enjoy that by. And then you guys have to tell me how many you found. It will be the deal. So here we go. Get you some music. How cool is this that there is actually a fortification line at the microscopic level in this little guy? So it's even kind of like got bots, if you will. around this little fortification. And so I just had to point that out. Sorry about breaking the kind of ambient deal with the music, but that is just so amazing. There's just a lot of variation in this particular fossil. One of the things that I find fascinating are these little, almost looking like the tentacle things. And so, like you saw in the thumbnail, there's these rows and rows and rows. And was that what you were offering Rick as the possible uh, signs of um, the sponge cake that you were talking about? Would love to know. Some I switch back over to the comments, and I see that Julie causes trouble on purpose. And Resort Dog is here. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. And Chubby Hubby is here. Good to see you. I am the Chubby Hubby, and I speak for the church. I love it. um, and do you need Reptile Z? Do you need a pan back to something? Did I miss a thing? And tons of fortification going on for reals. Little eyes too. I love the little eyeballs in these, and so I am wondering again if we're looking at the the mat of sponge, or are we looking at a bryozoa type thing? And then you see the little polyps and the what I believe we've seen some little forums potentially as well. Just incredible and so weird. It looks like somebody is doing some kind of crazy modern art here. It seems like that's oftentimes what we get a chance to see. Gonna see if I can't improve the focus there a little bit. We're getting into some neat stuff. I mean, it's all neat stuff, right? And the spider. Have you checked around or under your nose for those pliers? Oh dear. Is is Ma playing hide the pliers? That is not a fun game in the studio. I love this orb that we're getting at the top of the screen, and now it's moving towards the center. What do you guys reckon that is? What is that? Is that another like bit of coral? Who are you? And what are you doing there? Are orbs related to bots? That's a great question. And in the case of when the betroidals are happening, um, a lot of times there aren't, and sometimes there are. Sometimes the bots get made, but you can't find orbs necessarily that are right underneath. And sometimes there's fantastic orbs. Things are orbicular or oolitic, and it is cool. Reptile Z is saying the color is mesmerizing, isn't it? I can't believe how colorful this material is. And let's see, we've got an answer from Rock. They're usually a little more defined, but it varies from specimen to specimen. Of course, I would imagine there's a whole ton of different kinds of sponges that could become fossilized. Up and to the right on the screen, there was a face. I'll bet you we're gonna get a few different faces as we go along here for this particular specimen. We can continue to Cruise, yeah, it does look like a dream catcher. I am completely, like, just in a realm of disbelief at how many different, potential organism setups are presenting themselves. Here we've got, like, some long kind of straight guys, and then we've got some almost like wormish looking guys over here. So let's see if we can't get that into better focus. Check that out. What's going on there? Such a huge variation. And we have some more interesting fortification there too. Just wild. So it looks like I'm gonna have to do you guys a fossil MicroZone video like we did the MicroZone video with the crazy lace. I think that that would be a very good thing. And I'm catching up on the chat as I'm moving this ever so slowly for you guys to get a look at, like, all this compacted business. Look at all this stuff that is just squished on in here and then got these beautiful fortification lines. And if you didn't know what you were looking at, what would you guess it was even? Caught a butterfly wing vibe on this frame. Yeah, definitely. ET or Jasmine from Aladdin. That's great. And I mean, it's changing its whole entire feeling, like, as we're going along. We have some, you know, silver crystalline squid swimming along in a frozen sea of flowers right now. I shouldn't laugh. I'm shaking the microscope too much. And we can just keep on going. This particular on the other side, I finished it last night, and this little cabochon, and so I came up here and just thought I would take a quick look. I wasn't going to do it because I thought, we'll just look at it together now. And I I don't know, maybe like a half an hour later, I'm still looking, and I probably hadn't traveled even an inch on the stone itself. Just that there was so much to see. It I couldn't stop looking at it, and we actually can go closer. So this just exceeded beyond any kind of expectation. I thought this will be neat. And then the the desire to even, like, get into some research as to what in the world we're looking at was definitely there. Getting a little off of the, let's see, go out a little bit. There, that's better for the focus, I think. Wow. I have the ball vise tilted for you guys so that we don't get glare, and it's just making it a little difficult for some field of view. Let's go out. There we go. Must be why we were out that far. And so, yeah, a real mishmash, and also very moody throughout the stone. Very, very different. Tiny fortification islands everywhere, right? I sent you a not so great. Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you. Rick. Should I show that for everybody to see so that we can all kind of do a compare and contrast? I think I can go fetch it from the Discord. And meanwhile, like look at us changing moods, and wow, look at how detailed that line just became. What are you? And the variation in the material is all just it's doing its thing. I didn't no dyes or unnecessary meddling on my part has been accomplished at all. And we've got AndCon 73 Dex. Very good to see you, and thank you for joining us. In Lake Havasu, I've found tons of fossilized brain coral. Very cool. Super cool to hear. And so I'm going to should I go get that? Should I fetch that Rick? For everybody to see, let me know. And we'll keep on showing this for a little bit longer. I mean, I literally could probably look at this material for hours because there's just so much going on to parse. Like, what do you guys reckon? Here is this weird thing. There's that. What is that weird thing? Like some boomerang with a bullseye on it. We've got like things that look like sinuous elements. We've got this little thing budding along over here. Things that look like they're connected to other things here. Void, and then a stem of some kind leading to all this madness. And then we've got an opening here too. So is that the opening to this tube that goes over there? And is this another opening of a tube that goes down here? I mean, are we seeing this in 3 dimensions? Does this tube open up and then flow down into that tube? Or is that just a trick of the color of what this just ended up coloring like? Because it looks so 3-dimensional, even though this is a flat surface, that you're almost able to make out, some 3-dimensional form. Or are we just tripping together? Because, we did mention mushrooms a little earlier. Let's see. Is it just you, or does it look a bit opalized too? Rock Hounding Huntress, I would say that it's very churty, and if there's a little bit of opal going on in there, like in that fortification stuff, it's very possible. It's just that it's so small. It's not that I was telling a difference when I was trying to polish it, that it was turning into, something more glassy than the chert. Although it took such a high shine, it's definitely feeling very silicated and microcrystalline at that. That's not really an answer, but that's the best I can do as far as my 2 cents on how it felt. So yeah, it's a possibility. And Rick is going to root around and find a better picture. And Patricia's creation is there on the tube page with me. I think so. And a straight line, very suspect rock, a shamrock. Lava bison. That's great. Yeah. You gotta be kidding me. It's a sham. It's a shamrock. It's just pulling the proverbial wool over our eyes. So let's just change the mood just when you thought you had this rock figured out. Let's go over here. You can see, I don't know if your guys's detail is where mine is, but stuff just got super orbicular, teeny weeny, itty bitty, like puffs of it. And so like very, very dusted over here, all the way through here, like just tiny little particles. All of this stuff is just made out of these tiny little particles. What is going on there? And you can see over here, even the tiny little particles kind of getting lit differently. So yeah, just when we thought we were getting this thing figured out. We've got this tiny little, the tubes that opened up into like the tiniest little piñata type situation, like a little fossilized piñata. And I'm hearing the Discord going off. I'll bet you that's Rick Hart at work finding us cool things to look at. Okay, and so let's go ahead and completely change everything again. We've got these weird streaks that are going down right, turning into like a real dark pool of like ice water, black water, um, and some very cool fortifications, bullseye fortifications going on over there, and then a ladder. We've got like a straight up ladder going on. Look at the structure in that. Looks like an organic uh, ladder, a little bit like our Thevasites being the macro, and this is like the micro version of that. Very, very structured squares, little cubes stacked. And like, look at this madness. Look at these little guys. So very orby. That probably would make some cool bots happen somewhere, but just craziness going on through there. All right. Oh, that was you, Ma. Posting on some earrings. Cool. Blueberry Moonscape. I love it. You win. You win the naming contest. That's what it is. It is so a Blueberry Moonscape, which our friend that works for NASA that has been on the podcast a few times would absolutely adore that, since she has her Mars blueberries. There are the ones that reside on the moon. I mean, what a crazy collection of stuff that is. All right. We'll indulge this rock a little bit longer, and then we'll move on back to the box, since I did get the phone redone. We can always go back. Oh, and here's some of the octopus tentacles. And so these are made up of a lot of these lines of those the lines of those orbs there. And let me see if I can there. That's probably crisping up. Like I said, there's a bit of depth of field, but you can see it kind of picks up here, and then it goes all the way up here, and you just get bigger and bigger suckers on those tentacles. And then it's cool, we have this perfect little circle over here, and that's one of the reasons why I thought I was also maybe seeing some foraminifera, is that they have the tendency to be spheres, and then a lot of other really complex shapes. And stromatoporoid. Everybody say it with us. Stromatoporoid. Stromatoporoid. But thank you. Really appreciate that. Stromatoporoid. It's just fun to say once you know how. And well, I'll probably have to refer back to this video when I want to sound like I know what I'm talking about in the future. And then we get a bunch of cottage cheese over here, or maybe it's some of the cheese that goes with like the blueberry strudel, and then a different flavor on some of those tentacles. So how moody is this rock? So crazy. I see those structures, not like an octopus from my medical background. So what do you think? The suture. Oh, wait. I see those as suture, not suture-like, not octopus. My gosh, I cannot read this evening, you guys. For goodness sakes, for my medical background, suture-like. Yeah, that's definitely, when you flip it, boy, the power of suggestion, right? The rain in Spain is mainly on the stromatoporoid. Thank you. Um, and so we will continue, or else, honestly, I could just, I could do that all day on that one fossil. It's so good. And right, I'm stuck on foraminiferate. You just said. There you go. And Medusa. Oh, yeah, right. That makes so much sense. And it turned to stone. It does. It makes so much sense. And that rock has a tude. That's absolutely it. Total tude. I love it. And Yogi Wifey Boo Boo is here. Good to see you. And I love that all the different brains in this chat see different things. And that is why the whole knocking them all together is fun, right? Oh, Rock got the reference. Yay. We're trying. We're trying. And so there's some really, really neat shirts in here. And actually there was a very, very special one that shows the transition. Squirrel really wanted me to point out that there's one that has a transition between being the quartzite and so specifically a structural transition from quartzite to chert. So I like that these rocks don't know the rules, that you have instances where they just do their own thing. And I do believe that I left that one downstairs. Or is this it right here? Let's have a look. I'll show you and you can decide. But I'll be giving this a polish so that we can get a closer look, and that's not doing it any justice whatsoever. That you can see some changes in grain size and texture from within this stone, and the stones don't know our classification rules. So sometimes they just go and break them. Like, who are you? You know, can I drop you in one bucket, or do you actually meet the criteria of being in a few different buckets or having a few different names? And so I think that that's pretty exciting. And so those will go back in the bag, and we'll see some more beautiful fun here. Reaching back into the box, and oh, here's a big heavy one. I'm not supposed to be picking up heavy things with that arm. Look at that. Favosites. And then we've got Syringapora corals. Very cool. And so let's have a look at these, shall we? We'll move these guys over and get this big bag unloaded. Let's switch this. Fabulous. And so that is the cross section that I was talking about. We were seeing all those fun polka dots from the top, and the cross sections are really, really interesting. And those are our polka dots. How magical is that? Why, it's very magical, Karen. But that is so cool. Is that still enough for you guys to see? All of those columns have all of their own little inner structures, and they're very, very fancy. And so we'll cut this guy and get that polished up on this plane so that we can see details of what's going on in there with our microscope. Cheers! Yay! Jennifer, cheers to you. Nice dots. Absolutely. And we love coral, right? Coral. We're doing coral tonight. And here's another example. So we have some of them that get completely filled in with the silicates. And then we have others that have these voids. And a lot of times, if they've not filled in like these guys at the top with the silicates, then those voids are going to be completely filled in with druzy. And so let's see if we can't make them dance. Turn this bad boy on. Dance, druzy, dance. You see a little bit of sparkle. Let's see how close we dare get. There, you can see some little sparkles. Every single one of those caves is sugar coated. So cool. So does that make you hungry for your sugar cereal in the morning? So neat. And then you can see the windows, like just like stained glass windows in those top ones. Just solid quartz. And actually that looks really cool too. That being our cross section. So much geometry. So much geometry with these. So cool to see. And so that one will be fun to polish up and either make a specimen of or do some cutting with. Very amazing. Put it in my coffee, says the bear. Yeah. And right, Rufo? Like, yeah, it's stuck. You can't say coral. You got to say coral. Do you need me to send you the Walking Dead coral clip? Yes. Yes, that's exactly what I need. It's where we all are. We can't help ourselves. Yeah. And so here's, just piece after piece of these really intense, awesome favsates. And let's put we were saying, oh, wow, that is much stronger. Too close, I think. But I just wanted to bring your attention to how small some of these little guys are. Look at how small that got. Teeny weeny little textures there. And then that looks like a spider web some kind through there. And there we've got the little polka dots, like the honeycomb there. This one's going to be a fun one to cut, I think. And then, of course, druzy pocket, druzy pocket, druzy pocket. Look at that shining. Look at that sparkling. My gosh. That's just ridiculous. Look at all that sparkling. I don't know if you can see that actually. Does it pixelate for you over there watching? Or are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you seeing what I'm seeing, camera guy? So some really, really neat texture for these guys. And this bag keeps on going. You guys know what happens with these. I'm going to polish them up and then I'll end up giving a bunch of this away. Because that's the deal. I share. So we've got some intelligence here. Syringipora is also very accurately called organ pipe coral. Thank you so much. And you can totally see why. And so we're looking down the barrel of the organ pipes when we are looking at that cabochon that I did, which we should probably pop underneath the microscope and have a look at it now since we've seen the relevant rough that it belongs to. We can go ahead and see at the very least what these guys look like when you look down the barrel of the organ that they are. And I'm not talking about organs in the medical way. Although, if you see sutures and organs, that's absolutely okay. It's a Carl Sagan moonscape. I love that. Jenny, good to see you. And yes, a Coral Sagan moonscape. Coral. Yes, exactly. And Mr. Turtle Montana, I must have said your name 3 times. We were talking about you a little bit earlier, and I do have um the gemfish a going. So thank you so much for that. And he is saying, if you're gonna put those in your cereal bowl, I hope you have diamond plated teeth. Boy, with what money has gone into my mug, you would think so. But not so much. I think that they're made out of blue cheese. They're just not all that hard. So let's see about whoa, just knocking everything over. Let me switch to this and we'll get the coral cam going, guys. And probably should pan out because we're in super tight. And we don't need to start off that way. And we're also completely over exposed. So we need to adjust the exposure bar. And I also need to go check to see what the rock Rick did put over there for a better. Is it under general, Rick? Where am I looking? Or did you PM me with that so that we can have a look at what you were talking about? And you see what might be the best solution for looking at this cabochon. There's quite the dome to this one, so to get the light out of it, we need some extreme angle. There we go. Getting that all flickered for you guys. And you PM'd me. Okay, let's see. We'll take that down for a second. And let's see about getting you sharing. There you are. Okay, wow. Boy, if I looked at that, I would think I was looking at a big old piece of petrified wood. So you guys are going to have to let me know what you think about this. Let me share it. Share. There we go. And so check out that noise. Whoa, wait, no, there. And wow. Let's give the screen to that. So that's what Rick if you send a PM in the morning, wouldn't it be an AM? That's great. Yeah. So who else, if you looked at this, would you guess that it was maybe more like petrified wood? You might even find some cells in there that would even further mislead you into feeling like you were looking at wood as opposed to a stromatoporoid. Did I say that right? And then who's seen this? Has somebody thrown this back thinking that it was something else? Or has it in their collection and didn't know what it was? I would love to know. And oh my gosh. So my sister told me they now offer golden crowns or diamond crowns for your teeth now instead of just porcelain or gold. But I'll bet you we couldn't all afford that, perhaps. We'll have to see. That is so neat. It does, rock hounding huntress. Exactly. Looks like petrified wood or a banded shirt. Big time. So crazy. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I'll take that. Take that and that. And remember those bones? So here we are, and we'll get the microscope back up here. Kill that. Bring microscope back. Where'd it go? Now our microscope's not on. Dun dun dun. Everybody bearing with me. There we go. Okay. And so here we go. This, and we'll make it big. And here's our pretty honeycombs. Some more cereal, some more breakfast cereal for you. Lots and lots of druzy. And then you can see that those cells like did a cool fortification agatization. So neat. And we'll get rid of your exposure bar, and we can kind of check this out a little bit. You can see more fortification over there going around the corner. So when we do one that's not a cross section where we're featuring the cool dots, then we will see more of the forts, I think. Although, look at this craziness. You guys, we'll look at some of the museum putty that's holding that on, only because look at this madness over here in the corner. And we can get closer to that. We've got some crazy bots going on, and a bunch of like oolitic stuff going on over here on this side. Too bad that turned out to be on the side and not like featured prominently in the center. Look at that. You would never know that this little guy was hiding. Those crazy coral bees that make this honeycomb were up to some pretty neat stuff. Look at the fractaling. So it starts off with these big bots that make the cave, and then it fractals off into smaller and smaller and smaller oolitic little guys. And since it's kind of on the edge here, we have a little bit of the depth of field to deal with here. But I mean, it even looks like there's like druzy on those bots in that cave. But how impossibly small is this? You know, we're just cruising up to about 40 times magnification, but that's a pretty detailed little bot at 40. It's so cool. I did not know that was there because I have not looked at this. This also just was born last night. I think I got the box yesterday, I want to say, and I just cracked that bad boy open and started doing some cabbing and polishing. And if Jeff is still bebopping around here on that machine he's got racing towards his shop at this very moment in time. And Mr. Turtle is offering that the Stramata. Oh man, I can do it when I'm looking at the phonetic one. Stramatoporid. Stramatoporid. I think I said that right. Come in all different colors and sizes. I've collected a ton of them. Very, very cool. Yeah, it's a surprise, a very, very pleasant surprise. And Silverback is here. G'day, mate. Good to see you. Cheers. I hope that you are joining us in fantastic health all the way from tomorrow. Thank you for coming by. Good to see you. And that's what you're talking about. I know you gotta love the micro zone going on here. So I think that's probably like just darn near as good as it gets, but we'll cruise around a little bit more. I mean, it's yellow too, you guys. I have a weakness for that, but I love just underneath the cool bots. Like that whole bot frame is super cool, but like look at how they just diminish into teeny weeny like the oolates there. I think we got as close as we could go. Let's See, oh no, we can get closer. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. Let me make sure that we get like the whole adventure into this cave as close as we can possibly get. My gosh, this is so cool. Wow. Get this really good focus. And I think that we can improve upon some exposure here. Hopefully it won't wash us out completely. But let's do that. Yeah, it's pretty washed, but at least we'll be able to see in the dark. And so let's go. Oh, we want to get rid of the bar though. Boop. Okay. And how much closer do we get to get? Oh my gosh, this is amazing. We don't have to imagine those little oolites. We can see them very close. Did you know you guys were getting this close today to this? You didn't. Wow, we're so close that it's really having trouble with the depth of field, but look at that. You can go right into that cave. Wow. So I wonder something. Everybody hold on to your eyeballs. And your earballs if you need to. Let's see if there's anything in that cave. Got the little gemfish going. That really lights up the quartz, doesn't it? Another angle here. Wonder how far that goes down. Go spelunking. Anybody want to go spelunking in there? That's pretty cool. All right. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, don't get me or Kyle started on that. There, one more look at how detailed all those little oolite guys are. Wow. Just, the wow thing becomes like such the understatement. Like you just use it up. So each one of these pockets having such an amazing amount of way more detail than I would have thought. Here's some more coolness over here. Boy, this side really turned out cool. Look at that. Just the way that the cell structures in between the organ pipes wanted to permineralize. It's just fascinating. Look at that. And then a lot of glass in between. Look at this. Here we have another cave. Who wants to go spelunking in there? Wow, cool points. Let's see about this one. I had no idea when I was polishing it this was so fancy. There. Little lighting. Hey, Kid Curry. Mr. Turtle. I broke 3 fingers on my left hand yesterday while cabbing, but on the other hand, I'm all right. All of our comedy relief always. And then here's the other side of the cab. It seemed like such neat things were happening at the sides. But you can see all these little kind of oolitic dudes setting up shop in our organ pipes. It's cruising through the crystals there. Neat. Go back to that little ice island there. Pretty cool. That's some pretty fancy cell structure going on there. And good night, Mr. Turtle Montana. Thank you for coming. Let's do this. It's a lot of light. Big exposure. We can kind of see what the long view was of what we just looked at there. That's not ugly. I like that. Little crystal belly button. Beautiful. All right, so I'm definitely going to be doing a video of these rocks for you guys, and it'll show up with some ambient music on the member side. Very cool. And it looks like Rick is also going good night. You know what? Thank you so much for all of your help with the stromatolites, the stromatoporids this evening. That was outstanding. We've got some like, yeah, caviar. So thank you. And yeah, you want to pet that bot. They're so tiny. You'd have to do the Dr. Shrinker for sure on that. And so we'll take that back up here. Okay. And so as per tradition, it takes a long time for me to go through boxes apparently, huh? The one honeycomb where the bee emerged, right? Like it was the Queen's nursery, and we had one of the bot bees come out, the Oregon coral bees. So you know what I think would be really cool is we should do this more often, guys. We're gonna have a great guest on Friday night for the Friday Night Live, and then we need to do more fossil gazing. This is Cladopora, and wouldn't you love to know what Cladopora is and how cool these rocks are? Boy, you can see even through the bag. Look at that. That's going to be fun to look at. I can do some more polishing and have some more specimens for us to see. And what I'm going to do is, like I said before, we started off with this guy here. So let's add you up there. Where did you go? Let's do that. There we go. And here, remember this guy? We started off with this guy. And so I'm going to put this back on the stage, and we will have another look at this guy. And we'll call it for now, since I got these prepared for you guys to look at. And then we just know we've got some really cool things to look forward to. So let's get this back up. And it looks like how things looked this morning when I woke up. And let's bring this full screen. And we'll put on some tunage, and we'll take a little cruise through this, and then we'll do our last cheers of the evening. And so let's get that going. Horn coral, ladies and gentlemen. So good. So good. And so I love that the background is what people think I'm doing when I'm doing fossils. That's what AI thinks I'm doing when I'm doing fossils, and then what we just watched was what we're really doing when we're doing fossils. Thanks again to Blind Squirrel Rocks for bringing us these beautiful, very very old fossils from Indiana, and the not only the fossil corals but the fossil cherts as well. We're going to be doing more studying, more research on those fossil cherts to figure out all the things that we are looking at. Thank you so much for joining us, rock hounding huntress. I know it's getting late all over the planet. It's morning some places, evening other places, but it's late. It's late for us, and so we'll be wishing you all sweet dreams and cheers. We've got MicrOzone to send you out with for the credits, but I do want to wish you guys health and hang on to it with both hands and with all of your might, because health is such a wonderful thing to have. I hope that you all are in the very very best of health. I wish you very happy rock hounding. Go watch the videos that have been coming out all week long. They are spectacular, and that's what I'm going to be doing, catching up. We will see you on Friday night at 6 o'clock, as per tradition, for the Friday Night Live. And then there's always such a host of fantastic fun for rock hounding here on YouTube all weekend long. Looking forward to that. If you would like to have something to entertain you in between now and then, go check out the Discord. You're invited to come and hang out there with us all week long, where we carry on with much rock merriment. Thank you, Sierra Rockhounder, Jennifer Ship, Kid Curry, Julie and Brian from AZ Rockhounding Expeditions, Yogi Wife Boo Boo, Scott Argyle, Papa's Gems. You were here top to bottom, first in, and thank you so much for hanging out for the whole time. Rock for all of his help. Mr. Turtle Montana, thank you so much for coming here as well. And always very thankful for the gemfish that you got for the channel. We are going to be putting it to great uses. I've got some really fun things to report on Friday as well. I'm being reminded. Did I say thank you to Scott Argyle and Lava Bison? Go check out Allison Prairie Girl Rocks. She also dropped something earlier today that I had to miss because I was going down the coast with Mom, enjoying not only rock hounding on the beach, but also we went to a spectacular rock shop. I've got more fun things to report from that. And we'll talk about that more on Friday. Thank you for coming, Mr. Chubby Hubby and Meg Mac. Awesomeness. Cheers, 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 cheers to you, Soul Adventurous, Jenny Stone. Thank you so much for coming. Of course, Ma, thank you for being here. I know that your fingers have been busy this whole time, so hopefully we get to see what you've been working on and those beautiful earrings. I'll go check out that opal guy. Thank you as well. And you guys are all the best. Thanks to Mom. She's upstairs watching too, and we had just the most fun. So thank you, Mom, for hanging out. Kid Curry, thank you too. You guys all rock. You know you do. You're the best rockers. Oh, Lesby Rockin' was here earlier too. You're all the best rockers anywhere. So thank you for joining us. I'll go ahead and run these credits, and we'll see you on Friday. Cheers. Alive, everybody. Are you here? Am I here? And we can't hear me. Let's start over again. Are you here? Am I here? And we can't hear me. Let's start over again.